Welcome to Herdley, where books turn into 3 stories, refreshing your knowledge in minutes. Today we study together the book The New World on Mars, What We Can Create on the Red Planet by Robert Zubrin, in which we probe into how humanity's settlement on Mars could transform human civilization by leveraging the planet's unique resources and fostering unprecedented innovation and societal evolution. Robert Zubrin is president of the aerospace R&D company Pioneer Astronautics, which performs advanced space research for NASA, the U.S. Air Force, the U.S. Department of Energy, and private companies. Don't go away. Herdley the editor will be right back with the story. Today, I want to share with you 3 intriguing stories from the book that highlight how our settlement on Mars could reshape human civilization. We will explore the transformation of Martian resources into thriving industries, the creation of new social customs and governance structures, and the potential for Mars to become a hub of innovation that surpasses even Earth's most creative environments. The birth of Martian industry. Picture this. A group of the first settlers on Mars, standing on the rocky terrain, facing a daunting yet exhilarating task. They are there not only to survive, but to create a new world from scratch. The book tells the story of how these settlers, armed with a mix of determination and ingenuity, began to harness Mars's natural resources to build a foundation for their future society. They discovered vast amounts of water trapped in glaciers and permafrost. Mars possesses oceans of water in the form of huge glaciers and ice sheets, the book notes, a crucial resource they learned to extract and utilize for survival and growth. The story takes us into the early days of setting up greenhouse agriculture on Mars. With its 24-hour day-night cycle and an atmosphere thick enough to protect against solar flares, Mars is uniquely positioned to support large-scale greenhouses. These early settlers developed innovative techniques to extract water from the soil and use it to nourish their crops, which were grown in inflated domes designed to capture and use natural sunlight. This wasn't just about survival, but about creating a self-sustaining environment that could eventually support more complex forms of life and society. One particularly vivid account describes the moment when a breakthrough was made in producing fuel from the Martian atmosphere. Using the planet's abundant carbon dioxide, they developed a method to synthesize methane and oxygen, fuels necessary for both life support and potential return trips to Earth. This achievement was more than just a technical feat. It marked the beginning of a new industrial age on Mars, with settlers no longer entirely dependent on supplies from Earth. As we read on, we see how these initial steps laid the groundwork for a burgeoning Martian economy, one that could one day rival Earth's industries. The settlers' success in creating resources from what was initially a barren landscape inspired waves of new immigrants to take the leap and join them on Mars. And so, the settlers thrived, learning and adapting with each passing day. But with more people arriving, there arose the need to rethink how society could be organized on Mars, leading us into our next story. Crafting new social customs. As the Martian population grew, the settlers were faced with the challenge of establishing a new societal framework that would be suitable for life on Mars. They were no longer a small group of pioneers. They were now becoming a community with diverse needs and aspirations. In this next story, we see how these settlers began to forge a new social contract, one built around the unique challenges and opportunities presented by life on the Red Planet. The book shares a compelling narrative about how Martians developed a new form of democracy, tailored to the conditions of their new home. Unlike on Earth, where resources can often seem infinite, on Mars, every resource was precious, and waste was not an option. This necessity gave rise to a governance model that was both highly efficient and deeply participatory. The settlers organized themselves into small, self-governing units, each responsible for different aspects of their society, from water extraction to greenhouse management to medical care. What makes this story particularly memorable is the way the book describes the development of a new Martian code of ethics. Life on Mars was hard, and every member of society had to contribute to ensure the community's survival. But rather than fostering a harsh, survival of the fittest mentality, this necessity led to a culture of cooperation and mutual aid. One poignant scene depicts a council meeting where settlers debate the ethical use of limited medical supplies, ultimately deciding to prioritize children and the elderly. This decision wasn't just practical, it was emblematic of a deeper collective commitment to the well-being of all. This new societal framework, born of necessity, soon became a point of attraction for Earth-based societies. People from around the world were fascinated by the Martian experiment in living. As the book notes, Martian social customs were a reflection of humanity's best qualities: innovation, cooperation, and a willingness to adapt. It wasn't long before thinkers and innovators on Earth began to consider how these new customs could be applied to solve problems back home. With a stable society in place, Mars began to look beyond mere survival. The settlers were now ready to push the boundaries of what was possible, setting the stage for our final story. Mars, a hub of innovation. The last story I want to share with you is about how Mars, against all odds, became a cradle of innovation, pushing the limits of human creativity. Isolated from Earth, Martians had no choice but to innovate continuously to make life more sustainable and comfortable. This need fostered an environment where creative thinking wasn't just encouraged, it was necessary for survival. One of the most striking examples in the book is the development of advanced robotics and AI on Mars. With a severe labor shortage and a pressing need to maximize efficiency, the settlers turned to automation. They built robots to assist with everything from mining operations to household chores, and even developed autonomous vehicles to explore the harsh Martian terrain. This surge in innovation wasn't just limited to robotics, it extended to fields like biotechnology, where Martian scientists, free from Earth's regulatory constraints, made rapid advances in genetic engineering. Martian labs were a hotbed of experimentation, driven by necessity and unburdened by red tape, the book states, highlighting how the unique conditions on Mars spurred breakthroughs that might have taken decades to achieve on Earth. This drive for innovation culminated in the creation of a new type of Martian economy, heavily reliant on intellectual property and technological advancements. Mars became known not just as a distant frontier, but as a hub of invention, where patents for new technologies flowed back to Earth, generating revenue that further fueled the growth of the Martian colonies. Earth-based corporations and research institutions began collaborating with their Martian counterparts, eager to tap into the wellspring of creativity emerging from the red planet. The book ends this story with an inspiring image of Mars as a vibrant, thriving society, not just a survival outpost. The settlers have not only adapted to their new environment, but have also managed to create a world where innovation, creativity, and collaboration are the norms. And as they continue to push the boundaries, they set their sights on even greater challenges, such as terraforming Mars or launching missions to other planets. These stories of resourcefulness, societal innovation, and technological advancement illustrate the incredible potential of a Martian settlement. As we reflect on these tales, we realize that the challenges of settling Mars have catalyzed a transformation that has made humanity stronger, more united, and infinitely more creative. As the editor of Herdley, through understanding these stories, we can envision a future where humanity not only adapts to new worlds, but uses the challenges of space to redefine what it means to live, create, and thrive. In exploring the unique possibilities of Mars, we have seen how humanity's settlement on the Red Planet could transform civilization through resourcefulness, societal innovation, and unprecedented creativity. But there's one more story from the book that captures the essence of this transformation. The book describes a scenario where Martian settlers, facing a sudden and severe dust storm that threatens their food supply, come together to innovate in real time. They develop a new technology for underground hydroponics, using the naturally occurring geothermal heat beneath the Martian surface to grow crops. This innovation not only saves the colony from starvation, but also sets the stage for Mars to become a leader in sustainable agricultural practices. This episode showcases the resilience and ingenuity of humans when faced with adversity, proving that the challenges of Mars can inspire groundbreaking solutions that may one day be brought back to Earth. The possibility of transforming Martian challenges into opportunities demonstrates the book's core argument. Humanity's settlement on Mars is not just a bold step into the unknown, but a chance to redefine our capabilities as a species. As we learn from these stories, it becomes clear that the lessons of Mars can help us innovate, adapt, and thrive in ways we never imagined. As the editor of Herdley, by embracing these lessons, we can dream of a future where human creativity and resilience unlock the potential of new worlds, transforming not just our lives, but the very fabric of our civilization.